Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Friday's market wrap-up. What an awesome Friday. What an awesome week. Well, if you're sitting there going, what are you talking about, an awesome week? Wiz, everything's going to hell in a handbasket. Well, that's probably because you're not a member here at Top Gun Options and you haven't made over $75,000 in about a week and a half. Look at this one portfolio today. Look at the performance today in the primary live trade brief portfolio. We are up $19,000, folks, and our year-to-date performance, which would be January, 28,500. This is just one portfolio. The other portfolio, our weekly and our accelerated retirement, up about 30 and 29 respectively. Do the math. Allow me to round up and say nearly or close to $100,000 in January, folks. As people are going ape shit and panicking, we are making money. We predicted this, folks. This is an absolute epic call here at Top Gun Options. I said we will see a mid to late January sell-off implosion. It was going to happen anyway, but now that we have a pandemic breaking out around the world, it's going to get even worse, folks. The next stop is maybe the S&P 500 50-day moving average, and then maybe the 200-day. If you're sitting here going, holy crap, guess what we're going to do? We're going to hook you up next week with a free week. I think we're doing 4 or 5 free trading sessions. Nobody else in the industry does this, folks. I don't sit here, invite you to a webinar, and give you 98 PowerPoint slides about what happened in the past and ask you to throw out an obscene amount of money. I'm going to open up the doors to our trading squadron next week, and you're allowed in. Come in and kick the tires. You're going to get trades next week that could potentially pay for several years of membership here at Top Gun Options. It's free. All you need to do, folks, is head to go.topgunoptions.com/FT, and the FT stands for full throttle. I'm going to teach you how to potentially profit no matter which way this market goes, up, down, or sideways. I told you, folks, get long last week. Epic. January 22nd. I'll give you access to that webinar. Last Wednesday, I said, get out, go to cash, get out of every long position except Amazon, maybe. And what did I do with Amazon? I said, folks, stay in Amazon through earnings if you want to, because I think it's going to be disgusting. I was so wrong. It was obscene. Up $175 today. I exited my long Amazons this morning for massive profit. Why, Wiz? It was a disgusting quarter because they're going to implode. Nothing is safe in this market, ladies and gentlemen. So last Wednesday, I said go to cash, get long volatility, and get long S&P 500 puts. And do what we call, I'm going to teach you this tactic next week, a bearish double vertical on the China ETF. Look at this thing. It is down. Let's take a look how bad folks. Chinese markets aren't even open yet. They're closed for the nooner. The FXI, the iShares Large Cap China ETF, is down 12%. Their markets haven't even opened yet. There are 6 cities over the states of Florida, the size of the state of Florida, and Texas, where nobody's allowed outside. This hasn't even started yet. We are going lower, and all of our bearish trades are printing money. I told you to get bearish on Apple this week as well. Apple is going to implode. Listen to me. Apple went up when it reported blowout earnings like Amazon did. And then what did I tell you? A fifth of every dollar that Apple makes comes from a Chinese consumer. And oh, by the way, the 10 and 11-year-old boys and girls that produce iPhones in China ain't going to work. They haven't been in work, and they're not allowed to go back to work at a minimum right now for weeks. Somebody tell me how Apple stock goes up on this. It's horrific news for Apple. So, folks, this is a Gordon Gekko moment. Everybody else is panicking. My phone's ringing off the hook. When people panic, we print money, ladies and gentlemen. And so, you're capitalizing on a tragedy. Yeah, that's the Gordon Gekko Wall Street moment, folks. What do you want me to do? Lose money and light it on fire as everybody else is imploding? No, we're going to print money. Head to go.topgunoptions.com/FT. Men lie, numbers don't. I'm going to show you all of these portfolios. Look at this, FXI. This is year to date, which is January 30. This is the month of January. Bearish China trades made us close to $25,000. Most of that, half of that's on one trade. We looked at a bear call spread and bought some FXI puts. And you ready for this? FXI is going to go even lower. Now, let me get to the actual what's going on here. Yesterday, I took a break from the market, went to the gym, and I saw the WHO, not in concert, but the World Health Organization. They declared the coronavirus a global pandemic. They're a week late. Last week they said, well, it's an absolute pandemic in China, but we're not gonna say it's racing around the world yet. That was 7 days ago. Where have they been for 7 days? So, as expected, or at least I expected, they declared it a global pandemic yesterday. What did the market do yesterday afternoon? And it's funny because I got a couple panic texts like, "Oh my God, Wiz, you're wrong. The market's going up on it." Let's look at the past. Let's look at yesterday. Look at this. They call it a global pandemic right here, and the market raced higher. You know what I did? I was talking to Doc out in Colorado. On the phone, I'm like, dude, I am racing home right now to get even more bearish. Why? Because I knew this was going to happen. Did you listen to the press conference? It was an absolute disgrace. You know why the market rallied? Because the World Health Organization director sounded like he was the CEO of the Chinese Board of Tourism. The guy could not have bent over backwards more to kiss China's ass. He sounded like LeBron James and the NBA. It was disgusting. And I emailed coaching clients, texted them. I'm like, sell into this pop, sell into this pop. My phone's buzzing off the hook this morning saying, dude, one guy made $7,200 on one trade in a couple hours since yesterday afternoon. He's like, dude, I paid for 3 years of your service with your recommendation. Because I listened to it, folks. Let me get this straight. The market rallies on the World Health Organization saying there is a the last time they did this, Ebola, 8,000 people dead around the world. Does everybody remember they flew a doctor, one of our U.S. doctors, God bless him, who was in Africa fighting Ebola. He got it. They airlifted him out, like on a special Air Force jet. They landed in Atlanta, closed down highways. Remember this on TV? It was like the O.J. Simpson Bronco, following it in helicopters, and the highways are shut down, and they took him to the CD in a special wing. That was one person, ladies and gentlemen. Could you imagine if 10, 50, 1,000 people had gotten Ebola back then? If I sound like I'm trying to scare the shit out of you, I am. These are the situations, ladies and gentlemen, where you overreact. You don't underreact to something like this. I hate people who are like, oh, I overreacted for nothing. Are you alive, you idiot? The underreaction is what gets people killed. Donald J. Trump yesterday was an absolute disgrace. It's absolutely under control. A couple people sick. This is like this idiot 2 weeks ago with now there's nearly 50 traumatic brain injuries from the Iranian attack. That jackwad a week and a half ago said what? It's a couple of headaches. I've seen worse. Arms and legs blown off. You idiot, Donald J. Trump. And he still didn't fix it. The VFW, the largest veterans organization in this country, demanded that he apologize. Anybody hear that guy say, I'm sorry? I didn't. And he sounded like an idiot again. He needs this trade deal. I forget. I don't have the article up. Information's flying around by the minute here, but I'm going to tell you that this article is like Donald Trump is treading on eggshells with China. I'm talking to Xi. They're doing a great job. This thing, you hear what he said yesterday? It's under control. I just saw a graphic on TV that said there are 10 cases of person-to-person, human-to-human transmission in the United States. A week ago, the president, there's not even one here. It's under control. He was in Davos. The CDC, this is ridiculous. Why you even ask me this question? This thing's fine. What? I have buddies in the Pentagon. I have buddies on staff. I have a buddy who has a direct contact to our CDC, and these numbers aren't even close. You want to take a look at some scary shit? India hoards face masks supplies as coronavirus spreads to Russia and the UK. They ran out of face masks in China and Hong Kong, folks. Burning bodies in secret. Now, full disclosure, folks, this might be a Hollywood soundstage, okay? This film and stuff like that. It looks like it's freaking smuggled, and it's a pretty big soundstage that looks like the Chinese city of Wuhan, and this kind of smuggled video of officials just throwing bodies into a furnace. If you're the tinfoil hat, black helicopters conspiracy dude, call it fake. I don't. I'm going to assume all of this stuff is correct, and we're going to implode more. The S&P 500 is down 26 points right now, ladies and gentlemen. So I told you, man, I was on the phone. I said, sell, 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 sell. As this thing was going up, it was disgusting. They're going to regret this. The World Health Organization has lost absolutely all credibility on this issue. It was like a James Comey press conference. It was 19 minutes about how great China is and 2 minutes of this is a global pandemic. It was inverted, right? Instead of scaring the hell out of people for 19 minutes, they kissed China. It was awful. I'm so glad I saw this because a bunch of people are coming out today, smart doctors and epidemiologists or whatever, people smarter than me going, did you listen to that press conference? I'm telling you, folks, the guy sounded like he got a fat check from China or he had a gun in his back. An absolute disgrace out of the World Health Organization. And look at yesterday, my old pilots union, the American Airlines Pilots Association sued American in court to stop flying to China, ladies and gentlemen. Now the Dow's down over 300 points. Let's take a look at our portfolio for the day. This is just one portfolio up nearly $20,000, man. And does anybody think that we're going to get buyers into the close? We might have a 500-600 point a day down day here, folks. And if you aren't making money, if your 401k is a 101k right now, I'm going to give you some respectful truth over artificial harmony. It's your fault. We went 50. I'm going to age myself here. We went 50 years. This was the longest stretch in 50 years of this market going up. I told you folks this was musical chairs, and when the music stopped, we were going to not only have a chair, it was going to be a throne because it was be golden, and we were going to print money doing it, and we did. One more time, and then I got a couple more things to add. Go.topgunoptions.com/FT. That stands for full throttle. It is physically impossible, ladies and gentlemen, that stocks are not going to go down. I told you, a fifth of Apple's revenue comes from China, and that's where they employ child labor to make the damn phones. It's not happening. Starbucks, McDonald's, Google, all these companies that have massive business interest and employees in China have said, don't go to work. Somebody explain the math to me as to why the market went up yesterday. It doesn't make sense, folks. That's why you sell into it. Coronavirus quarantine will ripple through global manufacturing. So I got to be honest with you. I feel sorry for a couple people yesterday who bought this. You got to use your brain, folks. I'm going to teach you how. The only trading technology or platform, folks, you need is the 7 or 50 inches of gray matter if you're a Marine between your ears, and a brokerage platform. Absolute insanity, stupidity if you bought this market yesterday. If you, I can't. But let me tell you. So bailing out of Amazon this morning for massive profit, up $175 today, folks. Why are you getting out of it if you love it so much? Because it's going to come back. Do not get into Amazon right now. I told Doc, I told all my coaching clients, look at that. Look at Amazon right now. There it is right there, earnings. Holy shnikes. I haven't seen earnings like that in my lifetime. It was in everything. Amazon Web Services, Prime. Did you see the number of Prime members that they added? I can't even. This doesn't. Their earnings doesn't make sense. I've never seen more money in my life. That's why I'm selling it. There is no way on God's green earth Amazon's businesses aren't impacted by this. It is going to come down, period. Okay, so I would take. Look at this, 2042. What was it, a year ago? Was it $1,400? Those of you who got into our solo Amazon service and got into that synthetic stock at $1,400, even if you did one contract, I think you're up, what's that, $50,000-$60,000 with one trade and one contract. So you're welcome, folks. I'm having a blast. If you can't tell that I'm having a blast, is great. Going to be a great Friday night. Going to be a great weekend. Why? Because we're printing money as people are panicking. Okay, free next week. If you don't, if it was like I work during the week, I'm not going to. All the schedule of events are on here, down here. What's going on at what day? We're going to record everything, folks. Everything's recorded. We're going to put it on a replay page. So you're a fool if you don't attend or watch the replays, man. If you're looking at your portfolio going, holy crap, there's only one person to blame but yourself. Last night, real quickly, China came out with manufacturing and non-manufacturing PMI. Look at this. Manufacturing PMI slipped to 50. If it went below 50, any reading greater than 50 on PMI means, your economy is expanding. Below 50 means you're in a recession or the economy is contracting. I'm shocked. This is my shocked face. I'm shocked that it came in line exactly at 50. If you flipped a quarter, it landed on its side. Do you believe that the Chinese are telling the truth? First of all, about their manufacturing data, but about how many people are throwing into furnaces? Of course they're not. And then the non-manufacturing came in as a little bit of a beat. Sell. How about today, ladies and gentlemen? The Chicago PMI imploded the most in 4 years. Personal income dropped. I'm starting to see a University of Michigan consumer sentiment. So the other thing that has been powering this rally has been what? The consumer. Buried in all the hysteria going on today are these numbers. Personal income, it was 0.4, and it was revised down last month from 0.5 to 0.4. We thought we'd get 0.3, we got 0.2. That is a deceleration in personal income. Folks, if you're making less, you're not spending more. Another reason Amazon's going to come back. Chicago PMI, again, the biggest miss in 4 years, and consumer sentiment from the University of Michigan. I have no idea why that number is green. Last time I checked, 99.8. Oh, wait, it's actually better than 99.1. That was stupid, but not that big of a beat. But it's green, okay. But folks, this is the leading indicator. Personal income. That's not good. Down 50% in a month. A little bit of a beat. I'm sorry. I thought it said 98.8. Isn't that a boy band? Boy bands are dumb. All right, guys. As we predicted, this was a dead cat bounce. Implosion, it filled half the gap of this implosion and failed. That is the bearish technical indication you can have ever. Gap moved down, it fills half the gap. It literally came up to, we were in Wednesday? In accelerated retirement. I said, there's half the gap, and it's failed. Sell the wife, kids, mortgage the house, get bearish on everything. If you've listened to me, folks, and you're up nearly, and the Dow's even down more. You're up probably close to $100,000 in a week and a half in our bearish trades, and we're going lower. One last time, folks, because I got to go. I'm going to the beach. I'm going to the gym. I'm done for the day. I am done for the. I don't even need to watch the rest of what's going to happen in this market today. Here's my prediction, and this is why you need to come Monday. I don't think the Chinese open their markets on Monday. And when they eventually do, could you imagine being a Chinese investor right now? First of all, you're holed up in your house. 50, I think it's a little birdie told me it's close to 75 to 100 million people that are quarantined. Anyway, could you imagine being locked up in your house for the past week, and then you're dying to get on your brokerage platform and get out of all of your positions on Monday when the markets open, and they don't? What's going to happen when the markets do open? I get it, man. Last time the Chinese stock markets imploded, they banned short selling. It was illegal. They arrested approximately 200 journalists for writing bearish articles. You could not sell, you could only buy. They ordered all of their large financial firms and banks to buy. And the market still imploded. And that wasn't based on a global, pandemic. Oh, no, I'm coughing. That's great. Got the coronavirus, but I'm getting rich as I got it. Head to go.topgunoptions.com/FT, and I will see you next week. The past week and a half have been historic here at Top Gun Options, and if you missed out, it's not too late. We're absolutely going lower. Okay, folks, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. Don't watch the Super Bowl. It's ridiculous. See you.